Thanks so much for your valuable feedback since launch. In this manifesto, we'd like to summarize the changes that we plan to make in the near future. Note that these are still in the early discussion and haven't been tested yet, so the plans may change over the next few days. You know what the worst part is about all of this? All of this pushes back the master missions on map device shit. Delirium monster damage. As you travel deeper into the mist, the life damage and rewards from monsters become higher. Players have commented that they feel that monsters become too dangerous deep in the encounters. I'll be honest, the damage feedback, I don't really get it. I've seen it deal damage in leveling stages, and I think, well, that's where the majority of the feedback would be coming from, because most people aren't in maps. But I was blasting through it on red maps to 16s. I never had a damage problem. There's a lot of problems, but damage in my experience has not been one. Rewards bar. When you touch the Mirror of Delirium, a random reward type is chosen for the encounter. When you kill a certain number of monsters, you earn an additional instance of that reward type that drops when the encounter finishes. Currently, the rate at which that reward bar fills up is not proportional to the depth of the monster you are fighting. Monsters deeper in the mist do not fill it up faster. Yeah, shit's not rewarding at all. We felt this was appropriate for release because the other rewards that the league grants, such as cluster jewels, delirium or splinters, and extremely high quantity rarity bonuses that are tremendously not extremely high enough. Do all encourage you to kill as many monsters as possible, which promise clearing as deep as you can. We were considering having the reward bar fill up more quickly as you kill deeper monsters, but didn't have the change ready in time for launch. We plan to make this change in the near future. I don't think it's going to benefit it, honestly. I kind of don't like that. Like, I get where they're coming from, but they would have to like really ramp it up for it to make sense, instead of just like going in, getting like stage 2, maybe stage 3 if you've got like a box or some lucky rare mobs, and then piecing out. They'd have to like really ramp it up, because it's already not rewarding at all. Delirium's just absolutely not rewarding. Paralyzing, wasting, eroding, diluting touch debuffs. Oh god, this whole like debuffs thing, I don't even get it. I've ran hundreds of these and I still don't get it. We are reducing the lengths of these debuffs so that it's substantially shorter. Like, I've been hit by them, but I just can't recognize what the fuck does it. It's like the rare mobs, but what is it? Monster on death effects. This is the big one for me, because this is the main reason why Delirium is by far the most unenjoyable mechanic I've ever had in PoE. It's actually something I don't enjoy. Even Talisman I did not like, but I didn't dislike it really. Everything else I've always liked. This, I actually dislike it. Currently, there's a random chance for individual Delirium monsters to have mods that cause on-death effects. We are internally experimenting with moving these to be pack based so that there's more variance in when you encounter them, rebalancing them around this and improving how they are signaled. That's terrible. For those interested in why we use on-death effects into content like this, it's because they are a viable way of making monsters that are killed instantly have an effect on players, and they aren't trivialized by clear speed. Yeah, maybe fucking fix your game. I'm sorry, like, if you want your game to be played that way, maybe fucking fix the game instead of putting shit like this in it. 15 other mods we can put on these monsters make any difference normally, because they are eradicated by powerful builds in seconds. We're going to be toning these down either way. I hope they're really gonna tone it down, honestly. This makes no sense to me now. Well, whatever, I mean, I still love the patch, but the leak content seems like it's just not gonna be something I'm gonna be too excited about this time around. Players have reported that it doesn't feel worthwhile to run past content on the effects of Delirium because you lose precious time dealing with that content's overheads. Yes. We plan to add bonus time to Delirium events when you trigger past content in order to make up for this. The amount of bonus time will vary from content to content to make it fair. Okay, I mean, it doesn't get more difficult, so it's okay. Delirium item drop vacuuming. Oh, this would be a very cool one. Actually, if they actually manage to implement the vacuuming, I would be okay with the monster on death effects. Genuinely. If they manage to do it, They said they wouldn't be able to, but if they could, I would actually be somewhat alright if they nerf it. Like, it would definitely bring up a lot of the fun. Well, it's tempting to take every opportunity to vacuum up all the items that drop and present them to you in one go. That is not how the core game loop of action RPGs should function. In addition, if we wanted to, it's not really even practical to vacuum the entire map worth of items and drop them in one place. During our internal testing before release, we increased the length of that time of the Delirium encounter last so that the players have extra time to pick up items as they go. Item filters help alert you. Really? Yeah, well, yeah, okay. Considering adding an indicator in the user interface which shows the relative difficulty. It's okay, I mean, sure. Performance. It looks like we broke something with 310. We don't know what it is yet, but we're investigating and we'll fix it. It's a high priority, and we're really sorry that it was released like that. We were unaware of the issue for our internal testing, but became quickly aware of it upon launch. Yeah, me too. Right about the time I entered Ledge, and it was like, oh, game don't work. Annoyingly, it affects some computers' users a lot more than others. We have now a couple of computers in the office that reliably reproduce problems that we're using those. And we're using those to debug it. Visibility. It's the performance has been the worst ever, honestly. And it's even bad because it was one of those where like it breaks past content too. Like metamorphs are crazy. Visibility. We have various ideas. This is not long enough. We have various ideas to improve visibility, such as investigating, improving color grading, adding clearer effects to monsters with mods, improving skill effects, and so on. Know which set of these experiments will be deployed yet, but we do want to make it easier to see what's going on. Expect to see improvements soon. Make the End Delirium button bindable. Absolutely, yes. That's huge. You'll be able to turn it on and choose a keybind in the options. Yeah, I mean, it's awful. What can I say? Does the game work? The game still doesn't work. Can't even log in. It's a good summary. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I always defend GGG when it comes to this stuff. They really fucked up this time. What can I say? I mean, I don't want to like, you know, they're aware that they've fucked up. I don't want to like kick somebody who's laying down. I don't want to kick somebody who's laying down, but let's get real, dude. It's awful. And the fact that they're doubling down on the on-death effects, yeah, I'm just not gonna do Delirium. I don't know. I hate it. Even if they tone it down to where the mobs wouldn't deal any damage to me, like literally if they just don't do any damage, I just think it's stupid. Like, why would you have that in the game? I just don't. The vacuuming would help so much. Why would they not want to vacuum this? Like, well, again, before they told us there was like a performance issue, which I can totally understand. That's why I thought they wouldn't do it, but now they're not even mentioning that, so it sucks because again, last patch was such a good fucking patch. I think this patch is a really good patch as well. Like the build balance, except maybe Archmage is a little strong, you know, but it doesn't affect the SSF as much, so I'm okay with it. But it's a little bit off. That's clearly something that's going to cause problems in the future and probably already is. I think it's a great patch, man. I think PoE is in a fantastic state. I am surprised that they are addressing the clear speed thing, where they're like, mobs don't do anything to you. The only way that we can fight back against the player is on death effects. Because I would like to see more of that. I would like to see more of mobs fighting, you know? Yeah, on death effects are just cheap, dude. And in games where mobs fight back, like Grim Dawn, it's sad to see that they want their game to function that way, but I guess they can't at this point. It's too late. What do you think about the testing process that fails to identify visibility issues and stuff, like including a keybind? This league is really weird when it comes to that, because when it comes to the keybind, I think they just meant to do it, but they were too slow to do so. So it was gonna make it. They just couldn't in time. When it comes to the visibility issues, it somehow slipped through despite a tremendous amount of feedback. But even from the very beginning, they were like, we're gonna keep a close eye on the players' feedback. And I mean, they definitely did, because it seems like they're adjusting it pretty immediately. But the whole thing could have been prevented. So it's unfortunate. Another month in the life of PoE beta testers. What can you do? Sometimes it just be like that.